Have you had any negative effects from going vegan or raw vegan?
Yes! Okay, so, and it's more a testament to the food that we're eating. So when I first transitioned to vegan, I did a slow transition. It wasn't overnight or anything, but I constantly had to have detox tea with me because anytime I would eat something that wasn't completely vegan, I got really sick. I would get a headache and I would get really bloated. And so it was more not the going vegan that made me sick, but realizing once I started to clean my system and I may have something that wasn't completely vegan, what a reaction my body would have to it. And so once I did that once or twice, that was it for me to go, okay, no more. I'm not eating anything that's non-vegan because I had such a reaction to it.
I would not say there's a single negative effect that I've faced since going vegan. A lot of people ask, do you miss certain foods? But that's not a negative. I don't miss a single food because all the food is so great. All the food is so loving, and it's made with love and care, and there's no blood on your hands, so there is no negative effects emotionally, there's no negative effects physically, there's no negative effects soulfully or socially, and just all these elements that come to make a positive outlook and a positive lifestyle that I'm happy to be a part of.
I have had no negative effects from going vegan. What I can say is that it has allowed me to basically have to deal with emotions. A lot of the times people are afraid to deal with the things that maybe cause them pain in their life, cause them grief or sadness, despair, and can feel like if those emotions are coming up and out that this is, oh no, this is bad, like why am I feeling this? But realizing this is such a gift to be able to feel so fully and to be able to allow these emotions to come up and fill our bodies. It's such a gift to be able to realize that there's no more running away from everything that happened in your life. There's no more running away from your experiences. It's about totally embracing every experience that you've been through and also allowing that to be within you and in your body.
You know, I feel the only, if there's one drawback from the veganism, it can pretty much just be that social gathering aspect that might just be an added challenge, but I wouldn't see it as a negative effect. It's just another layer that we need to master and we need to be able to get comfortable with and doing something different than all your friends are doing. And then really if you notice that some friends are not resonating with you anymore, then they're gonna leave your life possibly, but you're creating space for people that will continue to support you no matter what diet you're doing, and that shows you who your real friends are.
Sure, I would say as many positives as there are going vegan, there's still going to be some challenges that arise, and each individual's unique. I would say I did have some social challenges, especially just kind of overcoming the fear of what my friends or family might think, or what my relatives who all ate meat would think when I sit down to Thanksgiving dinner, preparing my own food and eating something that looks different on my plate. So just trying to come across in a peaceful manner was one negative. It wasn't really a negative. I learned from it and it became a positive, but it definitely might seem to be a negative to people at first when starting to eat this way.
There are some detox symptoms, but if you have to do it very strategically, and you have to do a lot of research on it. But you will experience some things happen because of all the years that you've been eating meat and toxins and animal products. Those things are going to come back up. But once you release them, you're going to feel so much more lighter and so much more open, and you have so much more space in your body to do all the things you want to do.
I mean, it depends what you believe are negative effects. Like, for example, one of my reasons my mom won't go more raw vegan and eat more plants is because she doesn't like to go to the bathroom 6 times a day. And yeah, okay, I'll say it. I go to the bathroom like 6 times a day, you know, and, you know, that's poop. Most of you guys might even go once a day or maybe once every couple days, you know, because you're constipated. That's not good. And one of the other challenges is that you got to go pee a lot when you're eating a lot of water-rich foods. And how do you know if somebody's a raw vegan or even just a vegan, whole food vegan? It's because it takes you longer to go pee than it does to go poop. So think about that one.
Well, the only negative effect I can think of is I spend a lot more time prepping my food. So I'm losing a little bit of time in my day, about an hour, maybe half an hour, to chopping vegetables and prepping my food, because before I could just throw something in a microwave and it was finished. I'm actually gaining about 4 or 5, 6 hours in my day because since I'm eating fruits and vegetables, taking that time to prep my food, this food is going to give me the energy I need to crush my day instead of eating, you know, a couple cheeseburgers and sitting there for 3 hours and not being able to move.
Negative effects? No, not really. I mean, the only thing I think that some vegans struggle with, like as far as, I mean, there's definitely probably, me personally, I haven't had a lot of negative effects. The one thing that I would think that people talk about a lot is that it's more expensive as far as buying food on a vegan lifestyle. I actually haven't found that to be the case at all, especially if you start eating a whole food, plant-based vegan diet.
I would say, going back to the social question, is that initial struggle I've never lost friends as a vegan, but I had to figure out my own diet and nutrition. For the first few months, I got really underweight as a vegan. I'm 6'2", I was 140 pounds at one point. I was into endurance cycling and definitely wasn't eating enough, and it became a huge point of struggle for my family and friends, to the point where I was sort of forced to go to therapy by my parents, saying like, this isn't working out, you do not look good. Like, I had zero muscle mass, I was skin and bones. But the thing is, that struggle is what allowed me to have that experience, you know, acknowledge it from an objective standpoint and make a change. Because when you change anything, you're going to have to go through periods of struggle. So at the beginning, yeah, there were negative effects because I didn't know how much to eat. I didn't know what foods I should be eating, but I don't regret any of that. But I guess you could say that was a hard time, but it ultimately led to a place where I am now, where I'm constantly building muscle mass.
No, not at all.
Some negative effects I guess I've had is I thought maybe like there's this predetermined like social acceptance that anyone that was raw vegan was already like very in tune with like understanding the world situations. I thought immediately if they're raw vegan, they're a very cool person. They probably know about the government, politics, corruption, sustainable, you know, issues, and it's really not the case. You know, someone might be a new vegan.
Well, I think when a lot of people come to veganism or raw veganism, they think they're gonna, you know, gain some sort of superpowers and not have any of these struggles. But just a little while ago, I was having I had an inflamed stomach, which I think was from some dried persimmons I ate that happened to have some mold on it that I didn't notice until afterwards, and I ended up not being able to eat for a while. I lost some weight, and like it's just, you have to understand that you're still going to have certain challenges health-wise. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to never be sick again in your life, but maybe you'll bounce back from it quicker, or you'll just not catch these colds and flus or whatnot as often.
Yeah, I spend a lot more money on running shoes and fitness equipment now than I did before I was vegan. So it's really had it's been detrimental to my bank account. I travel all over the world to do races, to Europe for the World Championships every year. So it's been financially really difficult being very fit, being the body that I have now, that being vegan, especially raw, has allowed me. So yeah, I find that it's financially detrimental because you just end up doing so much more with your life. So that can be problematic. But other than that, I haven't really seen any negative effects.
There's definitely been a few negative effects from going vegan. I would say that one of the biggest ones, and it's completely preventable. I mean, this is why we do YouTube videos and we try and get the message out there, because if you don't know exactly how to do a vegan diet properly, you can have bad effects. Like for my teeth, for instance, I ate a lot of unripened fruit as a raw vegan, and it really played a lot of damage into my teeth, and as well as I'm also a little bit B12 deficient, but not anymore because I get a supplement for that.
I honestly don't think I've had any negative effects. I think it's just something that it was the right time for me, it was the right moment, and I just went for it straight away. And I think the negative things are maybe when you start to see things this way, you realise how much people are harming themselves and obviously harming the planet and everything else. So there's uncomfortable moments where you're with people that haven't made that change themselves, and that can be a bit hard, especially if they're kind of making fun of the situation. So there's little things like that, but part of being vegan is learning to deal with that, learning the social skills to deal with that, and perhaps just choosing not to socialise with those people anymore.
No, not any. Maybe just a little bit when I go out and people ask me why you don't eat this, why you don't eat that, and I'm keep repeating the same thing all over again. Maybe that's the thing. But my mental and my physical perception is great.
Besides a pre-existing B12 deficiency, which I supplement for,